So my number one is my lack of life planning. You know, in my 20s, I realized that I had very short-term, narrow vision of life. I did my best, and my friends who knew me back then would probably be like, nah, true, you know, you had a plan, and, you know, I remember you being structured. I was pretty much like the same person, just living a street life. But reflecting on that plan was real shallow, you know, just to compare it to chess. So the best chess players can think in advance, can think like 7 moves ahead. I would say at best, my plans were maybe 2 moves ahead. Also, my plans were very reactionary, you know, and just to give you an example, so I didn't go straight to college right after high school. You know, I was in the streets doing my thing. I was also working. I kept the job. And I caught a big charge, was facing some time. And that's when I decided, you know what? Maybe I should go back to school, get a degree, develop a career. So, you know, reflecting back, I was really reactionary with life that still impacts me to this day. You know, I'm doing some things behind the scene to deal with that, you know, and lawyers are on it. But yeah, just catching that felony, that drug charge, you know, young men out there, young women out there, you know, just stay off the streets. You cannot beat the system in that way, and it will come back to haunt you. I mean, took away some of my rights as a citizen, and also opportunities. There's some opportunities, like, for example, I'm an X-ray tech, and because of that felony, you know, I wasn't able to capitalize some of the opportunities that were on the table, like working at a hospital. However, and when I say however, I don't mean to negate what I said, just reframing it in a positive way. It ended up being a blessing, though. And I'll tell you why. Because I wasn't able to work at a hospital. You know, I went to school, eventually got my degree. Mobile X-ray gave me a chance. And I'm so thankful for that. And that became a blessing, not only because I was able to, you know, proceed in my new career, but driving, right? So now I'm driving for 8-10 hours a day, 13 hours a day. Guess what my car became, Brother Mack?
What was that?
My car became what Jim Rohn calls, rest in peace, Jim Rohn, a mobile university. So a major reason why I am who I am today is because of all the books, you know, and audio books and lectures and YouTube videos and podcasts like Raw Success that you're listening to right now that I was able to consume while I was driving. So that limited obstacle ended up actually being a blessing. You know, and it reminds me of a Chinese parable that I heard. So there was a Chinese farmer whose horse ran away. And when the horse ran away, neighbors came through and said, "Oh man, your horse ran away. That's such a bad thing, isn't it?" And the Chinese farmer said, "We'll see." All right. So the horse ended up coming back. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. The horse ended up coming back and brought with it a whole bunch of other wild horses. So now one left, and now he has a whole bunch of other wild horses, right? The neighbors came to his house. "Oh, man, you got all these horses. That's great, isn't it?" The farmer said, "We'll see." So one day, this farmer's son was out attempting to tame and ride one of these wild horses, and he fell and broke his leg. And the neighbors came over and, "Oh man, your son broke his leg because of one of the wild horses. That's a bad thing, isn't it?" The farmer said, "Maybe, we'll see." And then the army came because there was a big war and they wanted to recruit the farmer's son. And because the farmer's son had a broken leg, the recruiters didn't get him. The neighbors came by and said, "Oh man, your son doesn't have to go to war. That's a good thing, isn't it?" And the farmer said, "Maybe, we'll see." Moral of the story is that you never know. You know, an obstacle can end up being a blessing. So by no means am I saying that catching a felony is a blessing or a good thing in any way. What I'm saying is that I turned an obstacle into a blessing, and so can you.